is NDTV, and you are watching NDTV Prime.
Electric mobility is a subject I personally am very passionate about, and we of course on the Car and Bike Show have brought you various electric scooters, two-wheelers and cars over the last few months. Today we are at Rimac and with Monika Mikac, who is the COO for this fledgling new supercar company and the provider of electric solutions for a really good number of supercar and hypercar manufacturers. So
welcome on our stand.
Thank you so much for having us. The car looks great. It's called the Concept One, of course, but the bigger news is the fact that you have been providing electric solutions to the likes of the Aston Martin, Red Bull Racing Project Valkyrie, and even the Koenigsegg Regera. So why don't you take me through what your company is all about, and then we'll have a look at the car.
Of course. So we are producing high-performance electric hypercar, first in the world. But we are basically a technology company, so we provide our technology and our solutions to various other companies from the industry. So as you have seen, there are pieces of our technology on Aston Martin stand, in Koenigsegg stand, but in some many more around us here, but unfortunately I'm not able to disclose which ones still. In the future you will hear more about that.
Right. Of course the car is the first car that you made. You made 8 units, am I correct? 8 cars?
So we are producing only 8 cars in total. 6 of them are already ordered. So basically there are only 2 left.
Right. And it does look quite, it looks quite conventional. It doesn't look like an electric car at all from the beginning, from the start of things. Of course, we know it's, in fact, I'll let you take us through the figures.
Okay, so first to mention that we all at the company were petrol heads. And we were not creating electric supercar because we wanted to be environmental friendly. Of course, that's a nice side effect. But our idea was that electric propulsion system actually has so much more to offer than gas-powered cars currently in the market.
Right.
So we have decided to create the supercar of 21st century, something really revolutionary and new. And our founder and CEO had this idea of 4 motors, 2 in the front, 2 in the back, each motor controlling each wheel separately hundreds of times per second. So basically you can brake with 1 wheel while accelerating with 3 others and change that in another millisecond completely the opposite. And of course we wanted to have like enormous power, so 1224 horsepower for electric supercar. And you don't have anything like that on the market currently, so we were the first ones to push the limit and to develop technology for that supercar. And what is unique, that we developed the whole technology in-house. So you could say that 80% of the car is developed and produced in-house in our factory in Croatia. And that's really unique because usually in the automotive industry they buy various components from different suppliers, put it together, while with us we do everything in-house for the supercar.
Right. Of course, you mentioned over 1200 horsepower. I've been reading the figures and it's quite outstanding. 0 to 100 in under 2.3 seconds, I think, and 0 to 200 kilometers per hour in 6.4, is it? 6.3,
yeah,
6.4 seconds.
I don't know.
And 0 to 300 is just under 13 seconds, or 14 seconds, which is quite insane. Of course, there's a lot more technology in it, as you mentioned, torque vectoring, but with electric motors, which is the next generation of torque vectoring. You've also mentioned about how you made everything in-house. Are there any challenges that you guys, as a small fledgling company, have faced, or is it easier for you guys to use 3D printing, use CNC machines, because you're a smaller manufacturer, to get better stuff out?
We are maybe more flexible, and we think out of the box, and that was actually the only way to create a car like this. But on the other side, we were facing many challenges because we were a small company, especially if you consider about funding of the company at the very first beginnings. We were facing also challenges because we didn't have experience. So we had to gain our own experience and know how to do it. But also on the market you didn't have people before, you know, who developed electric hypercars. So we did everything from scratch, a lot of trial and error, a lot of improvement in the process, and we are proud of our work.
Right. Now, your mainstay for the company is, of course, technology. And we've seen the lovely Regera R battery right at the stand there. Oh, right there it is. And of course also give the power pack for the Aston Martin cars. But there is a lot more in terms of mass market electrification that the world needs currently. Of course, electric cars are gaining popularity. Does Rimac intend to stay sort of higher up in the segment, not just as a car manufacturer, but also as a technology provider, or is there other plans of coming down the tree?
So with the supercars, we are planning to stay in the really luxury segment, becoming Ferrari of 21st century, but not going into the mass market. While with our components, we are planning to go more mass market, but it won't be for example, Volkswagen Golf, for those kind of cars. It will be more for cars like BMW 7 Series.
Okay.
So more mass market, but not really.
But still luxury oriented.
Still luxury oriented, yes. Because our components are specially designed and best at high performance.
Right. Now, countries like areas of regions like Western Europe and the US, of course, are more prone to electrification and more prone to getting technology at a quicker rate. But do you see a big potential in a market like China or maybe even India? Because China has, of course, adapted to the electric car really quickly because of regulations. India has not yet. Do you see a huge market for somebody like you?
China is definitely a huge market for us. Even now, we already have some clients for China, and it's an important market for us. First, two investors in the company are from China. So definitely, even I think in our next round, probably we will have some Chinese investors. So China is one of the main markets, and I think China first recognized the potential of electric cars. Probably it's because they are so polluted, and they have to think forward, and they have to change some things.
Right. But what about India as a market? Have you had any thought ever about it? Also, have you had any sort of interest from India about the car in general? Because the supercar market in India and the hypercar market both are sort of growing exponentially.
We don't have plans for a supercar in India. Maybe in the future, who knows? I hope maybe someone in Geneva will come from India and buy us the Concept 1. Why not? We would be more than happy. We had some talks with some technical companies from India, but nothing signed.
Okay, great. And of course, you also make a lot more than just a supercar and a battery. You make a very, very interesting bicycle that I personally really want to get onto, because I've heard all that it can do, and I've heard from you that it's really quick. So quickly talk us through that project as well.
So our high-performance electric bicycle, brake bikes, they can go up to 70 kilometers per hour top speed. They have a range of 120 kilometers without pedaling. They are activated by your fingerprint, so basically you don't need a key to turn the bike on. You just like put your fingerprint and that's it. They have really innovative infotainment system where you can check various information, what is going on with your bike. You can check what is the status of each battery cell you have on the bike. What was your last trip? So many information gathered on the bike. And it's something really unique. It can get you in a wheelie, you know, in a second, how much power it has.
Right. Thank you so much for having us. I know you're a bit busy at the Geneva Auto Show. We do hope that we get to drive this really soon. It is very exciting because it's something completely new as a technology. So again, thank you for having us, and best of luck.
Thank you for visiting, and I hope next time I will see you in Croatia.
In Croatia, yes. Thank you so much.